a groundbreaking achievement in design. So this is part of our Game of Some Other Year 2011. We nominated Minecraft as one of the nominees. We have 6 nominees. Minecraft is one, and this is the first one that we are actually going to cover.
Can I just ask Mike? Mike, can you name the other 5 nominees off the top of your head right now?
Don't do this to him. Don't do this to him.
Yeah,
He's going to check.
I reckon he'll do it.
What?
I reckon he'll
off the
do
top
it.
of my head?
Yeah.
Why do I have to do it at the top of my head?
Why are you doing this to him? Why are you doing this to him?
Well, hang on. So...
No, because I want to remind the audience. I thought it was a fun way. Don't break down the secrets of my hosting style.
All right, go. Do it, Mike.
In any particular order?
Yeah, anyone. Just,
okay, so there's obviously Minecraft.
Can you just hold on? Any order what? Like in order of what number 1 is? We haven't even decided that.
No. As in like an order of... Okay, that's right. It's 12 o'clock nearly. I'm tired.
Yeah, go on.
So Minecraft, obviously, because we're about to talk about
good one. Yeah, good one. Good
Super Mario 3D Land.
Nice.
Perfect.
Because
that's the hard one. That was
I bought it today.
He's bought multiple copies of these.
It's all downhill from here.
Just one copy of that one. LA Noire, because we talked about it already today, and I have 3 copies
so
of that
far
one
out
now.
of the 6.
Skyrim.
Yep. 4 out of the 6.
Because I started that again on the Switch. Dark Souls, because we started playing that multiple times.
Yep.
And Deus Ex.
Yes, you made me proud.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
What's the subtitle for Deus Ex?
Human Revolution.
Okay, good.
Not Mankind Divided. Like, I don't know that one. Come on.
Man,
I don't know.
See, I had faith in you, and I wanted to remind the audience. Thank you very much, Mike.
There we go. We were 50-50.
Thank you, Swinny. I appreciate it.
Swinny was right. I had no faith.
Had zero faith in me.
I should have thought that I actually reminded you about the Super Mario 3D Land.
You did, and I went out and actually bought myself a copy of it.
True,
just
I guess that's
so
true.
I can play it on this. Unfortunately, I don't have a console to play it on, but I'll figure that part out this week.
You've done the hard part. That's the hard part.
I've done the hard part. I found a copy of the game.
All right, so let's go into Minecraft. So number 1. Why did we say this is 2011? I think we need to address that because Minecraft came out in the alpha version, beta version prior to this. I think after much deliberation, Swinny and I decided that the 1.0 version, which came out in November 2011, is our signifier of when it came out. And often Mojang / Microsoft, I guess, because they own it now, would refer to this as being one of the anniversaries. But they also do refer to the original date it actually came out as an alpha as one of the other anniversaries, so having a bob each way. But I'm very comfortable that 2011 is the year that it should be classified as being in. But this is only going to get more annoying with early release games that stay in early release for years and years.
Yeah.
So do you want to open the batting, Swinny?
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about our experiences with the game and, the good, the bad. We're not going to talk about whether or not we think it's deserving to be Game of Some Other Year. We're going to do that after we've covered all the games. But I actually have spent a lot of time playing Minecraft, but not the version that is probably best to be represented by our discussion, which is, the version that hit 2011, the Java edition when it went 1.0, whatever. I sunk about 500 hours into the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft, which came out in 2012 in May. And I'm glad that as part of this discussion, I went back and looked at what 2011 Minecraft was in that 1.0. And it really, my I guess, understanding of Minecraft is very much blurred and biased by on what that 360 version was, which was such a different beast of a game than what that Java version was at the time. And knowing that 1.0 had villages, it had, I believe it had had the Nether, had the End World or whatever it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's
the Ender World, right?
Yeah, I know it's Ender Dragon and all that. I just couldn't remember the exact. I guess.
Or is it the Netherworld?
Yeah,
that was Netherworld.
No, Nether is a separate.
Ender?
Nether's the other one, the Hell one. But basically, and now I'm confident knowing that that. Now I know what that was. I'm even happier with the fact that we chose this as one of our 6 nominees. My time was just magical with Minecraft. So basically, I never played it multiplayer. I played it completely in survival mode, generally on peaceful, to be honest. But I didn't sit there in creative mode or whatever because creative mode didn't actually come to the Xbox version for a little while. So I essentially just spent 500 hours just building like awesome castle, and I did this great, huge underground library that I mined out brick by brick, and it took me like 30 hours just
500
to
hours.
mine that part out, and it was just such a great experience. And then they updated the game and screwed me over and made it so I couldn't do what I wanted to do without spending ages. So that was a bit of a downer, but that just goes
Wait,
that leads
Can
me
you talk about the Excel spreadsheet?
Oh, just using Excel because Minecraft, like, there's obviously lots of tools out there, but I just plotted out I was building this big statue in this underground library, so I just plotted it out basically, from all, plotted out. Okay, this is what it's going to look like from the side. It's going to look like from the top, so I can actually
In
build
Excel,
it.
it was so cool. Hey, I'm not having a go at you.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
I saw that. It was so cool.
But these days, obviously, there's lots of great tools for Minecraft, and it was back then, especially on the PC. But I just wanted to say that experience of the update kind of then changing the way that I had to approach it, to me, is very representative or symbolic of Minecraft in general. Just the fact that they've built on this game so much that honestly, 2021 Minecraft, from everything I've seen, and the last time I played it was probably sometime last year, is such a different beast, especially on console compared to what I was playing then, that it does feel like a very different game. So it is difficult to judge looking at it from a 2011, standpoint. But that's why I'm glad I did that research and looked at what it was, because the game that I played on 360 was definitely the game that it was in 2011. So
I think it's called The End. That's the area, right?
Yeah.
It's Minecraft. It's funny that we're doing this one first as well, but Minecraft is like really challenging because to pin down like what are we actually referring to, or sort of, this is a really interesting thing. We've never really agreed on the terms of reference as it pertains to Game of Some Other Year. As I say that, it's like midnight. Because I do feel personally impact, does it change the landscape? Is it something that lasted? Because there are games that, get released at the time, massive hype, people so amped about them. And then 3 years' time, people just literally couldn't even explain what the game's about or what it is, because it's kind of just a game that just had no lasting impact. Whereas this game quite literally is the opposite of that. Like, this might be... It might actually seriously
the biggest on the list.
It's one of the ones. If I had to make a bet, if someone said a game that's out right now that people are going to talk about in 100 years, I'd probably actually back Minecraft.
Out of all of these, it'd be Minecraft.
Out of every single game, I'd probably say
easily.
Oh, you'd say easily. Interesting.
Yeah, I'd say easily as well.
If you look back in video gaming history and you look at your Space Invaders, your Pong, your Mario, Super Mario Brothers, and all those, Minecraft is up there as one of those games.
But see, the only thing is, I can imagine there being a 753rd version of Skyrim by then.
I don't think Skyrim is at the same level as Minecraft. I mean, Minecraft, it's amazing. Even last year, Minecraft, 10 years on, was the number one YouTubed game, like in terms of content created around a game. And it's still, if you're looking at the most popular channels on YouTube, still some of them primarily revolve around, I meant to say, Minecraft, which is nuts to me that so many years on.
Well, I think it's got such a broad reach. Swinny is whatever age he is. I won't disclose that sort of information.
I'm like, where's he going to go with this?
Well, we don't know because he doesn't have the face cam, so he could be
how
a young
old's
man.
The Xbox?
Anyway,
he sounds to me like he'd be like in his 30s or something. So he must have played this when he was in his 20s, maybe, is my guess. Now, let's go 20, 30, whatever, give or take. I know people in their 40s who play this game. And I also know the kid next door, he was bugging me and telling me about Minecraft and talking to me about all sorts of cool Minecrafty stuff. My partner's niece was talking to me about Minecraft when I caught up with her on the weekend. It's such a broad spectrum of people that get to enjoy this game. That's the incredible thing about it, I think. And I think that's also one of the reasons why it will be a timeless game. It's the simplicity and the fact that it's such a broad spectrum of people that get to play this game. I could picture my dad and my mom playing this game.
Yeah.
It's that kind of a game. It's incredible that a game can actually be that broad.
Yeah, no, it's like it's unreal. And I remember when Microsoft bought them, so they bought Minecraft. They bought Mojang, but that was the only game that they were making for $2.5
Hey,
billion.
Scrolls. Don't forget about Scrolls.
And I think like people were like, wow, they spent $2.5 billion on that. Like,
Worth
geez, like
it.
that is like one of the greatest investments. Like, I think it's sold 3 times as much since then, even, which is just like unbelievable. But yeah, just to talk about the game, like, and I think you touched on it really well, Swinny, that this game is not one thing. And that's why it's so interesting to me, because I came to the party so late on Minecraft, and just chatting to, my wife's brother who plays it a lot, like they play it in a totally different way that you do, Swinny. So they have like some mate that they have has a server. So they connected, and I'm like, I was like really going like, I don't know anything about Minecraft, explain it. So they have their own, like basically their world, their server, and they all kind of exist in that world. And they set
And
up
build
all
onto
this,
it, yeah.
and they set up all this like, and you can program
cool.
and put switches in, and they have like a railway and all this kind of mental stuff. And then someone,
I built a railway just because it was me in my lonesome loner world. Doesn't mean it wasn't a
sad
railway.
world. And then I think someone came along and they didn't understand that if you set fire to things, it like genuinely burns it out, and you can't like redo it or undo. So they burnt down like a third of the city or something, like a la Chicago fire style. And it's like all these stories and stuff.
Did they get banned from the server?
No, it's one of their mates, but they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't realize like, how it all worked. So I think that's one element of this game that's so interesting to me, because it gives you a platform to just create millions of different stories that you can experience. And even with me playing it, it's like, my son was watching, and because it's so approachable, it's like there's nothing complex about the game in a way. He's watching it, and it's actually really funny. Like, he didn't know anything about the game, but he's like, he sees a pig and he's like, oh, cow, like, where's a cow? I'm like, oh, well, I know that there are cows in this game, so I'm going around, and he's just calling out more animals. He's like, where are the horses? I'm like, all right, I'll go look around. And I found some horses. I'm like, this is so odd, this game.
That is so cool, though.
And I was actually getting like super hooked on this game. And then I actually stopped myself because I just thought, this is going to become like a new Rocket League, where I'm playing this for like 500 hours. And what am I doing?
You could completely get lost in this. I mean, people do. People spend thousands of hours. But me, I'm the kind of person that's like, oh, why would you spend another 1,000 hours on Destiny or Diablo or whatever? But it's almoys like with this kind of a game, I feel, because it's such a, it's virtual Lego.
Yeah.
To me, it's always been virtual Lego.
Well, can I just quickly say something on that, Mike? Because I was going to say this at some point. I remember about 5-6 years ago, there's a good mate in investment banking who, he's always got these ideas. And he came up to me and he's like, I've got this amazing idea. I'm like, oh yeah, what is it? And he's like, it's for a game. I'm like, well, you don't play games, but go on. He's like, you know what it is? They should make, like how you have Lego. They should make Lego in like a computer game. And I go, yeah, it's called Minecraft. It's been bought for like $2.5 billion. You absolute idiot. Like, it exists. But you're right. I think that's the easiest way to explain it to someone.
It kind of is, yeah.
Can I just quickly talk about something? We kind of touched on it, but one reason why I think Minecraft is so important is that it is such a fantastic game for kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
And I was speaking with family members about this. It's like, the kids are starting to get into Minecraft. It's like, I said, and my response is, that is one of the best possible games they can play.
Absolutely.
Because not only does it teach them about, being creative, but also it's the violence that is in it is so unrealistic and cartoony, and essentially what you'd see in a cartoon. So you don't have to worry about any of that. Generally, you can wall it off, so you don't have to worry about them, being any issues with online and stuff, because you can generally just say, okay, they just play in their own world. But also the educational aspect. So I think it was in 2016.
I never knew what a pig was until I played Minecraft.
In 2016, they released the education edition of Minecraft. And it's just fantastic that they're able to take what is essentially this creative tool video game thing and actually, have kids learn from it. Like, I was sitting there watching my nephew play Minecraft. And he can't even read properly yet. And he's sitting there navigating all the sometimes these menus are a bit complicated in Minecraft. You know, it's not a complex game from just looking at the very basics of it. When you start getting the menus, it can. And like literally didn't know how to turn off the. You know how you can have some games have accessibility options where or read out all the text.
Oh yeah.
He didn't know how to turn that off, but he knew how to like build complex structures. Like it's just wild to me. Like
It's amazing, isn't
and he
it?
had
Yeah.
a book that actually had all these Minecraft builds that are like,
that's so
here's how to
cool.
build this, and he's sitting there and building it off this based on this book. It's such a fantastic game for that, and I just think, I really wanted to give some credit for Minecraft just being a great game for kids.
So I don't have children myself, but if there was
Thank
one
God.
That you
game
know
that I'd
of.
be like,
That you know of.
that I'm aware of, yes, I may have had some actually.
You know, I always
Don't
say
Just
implicate
that.
taking a
yourself.
shower,
Don't
so
implicate
just
yourself.
taking a shower, so I can say whatever I want.
I always say that. People get really offended. I'm like, that you don't have a sense of humor if you don't find that funny.
Exactly.
But yeah, go on.
No, so if I had a kid that I knew of and actually was taken care of,
Yeah.
I would absolutely let them. If there's one game that I would go, yeah, go ahead, play it. I'll probably still moderate them. I'll be like, okay, maybe 10 hours a day is a bit too much, but yeah, go ahead and play it. Compared to say Fortnite or any of those games that are just repeating the same thing, and there's I don't know, Fortnite technically has construction. I'm aware of that, but it's a different kind of construction compared to something like this. The creativity and how it's probably also, out of all games that I can think of off the top of my head, the biggest proper sandbox game that I can think of.
Well, the persistence, yeah. Like if you go down that route, if that's what you want to play,
Well, you can do so much in it. You
Yeah.
want to go build a castle? Go build a castle. You want to build this cool train track thing? Go do that. You want to adventure and live a story? Go do that. It allows you to do all of that stuff, which I think is incredible, as one game that can do all that in one.
Because where did we land on this? Because I definitely had this in my top 6, and I definitely fought for it. But did you guys have it on your top 6? I can't remember. Or top 8?
We did.
Don't
We
remember.
didn't, but
Yeah.
when it came down to us deliberating over those last few games, I said, look, I think Minecraft deserved to be in because I
Same.
generally am not basing any of this game some other year stuff off importance or impact myself, but I understand why a game like this deserves to be in that top 6 for 2011.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that the fact that that Mike didn't even dispute it at the time just goes to show that it may not have been in my top 8 for 2011 personally, but it is worthy to be considered as one of the top
But that's only
games of
because
2011.
exactly the same thoughts. The only reason why I wouldn't have necessarily put it in the top ranking is purely because I didn't play it enough. But I was always, in the back of my mind, it was always, this is an amazing game. It was almost one of those things that I wish I had played it more kind of game.
I just looked it up. It was actually number 12 for me.
Number 12, yeah.
It's a
I don't even
fascinating
remember what
one
it was
because,
for, but-
like, I was really bitter about Portal 2 not being in the top 6, but even I would admit, and I think I said that Portal 2 was number 2 on my list, like if I ranked the list. But I even acknowledge Portal 2 is not the same impact as a Minecraft. Like, Minecraft is a very special game.
Oh yeah.
It's, like it's probably one of the few games you could just easily go, it's the best game of all time. And, you kind of go, you could argue with a person, right? And you go, well, whatever, that's not a bad pick. There's heaps of other games where if you say that, you go, wow, is it even the best Assassin's Creed game in the series, Whereas, I just think, Minecraft is certainly like
There's
one of
a
those
lot of
weird
reasons
games.
why I think that statement, you could argue it, from
Yeah.
reach, from
Impact, growth.
impact on
Like, how many people
growth,
learn how to program because of
sales.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Like, it's insane, It's just...
I'm looking forward to the discussion when we have to actually say what those top games are, because I think then it's going to be really interesting to look at what Minecraft is as a video game, as a creative tool, and then look at the competition that it's looking at, your Skyrims, your Dark Souls, which are very much your video game-ass video games, it's going to be difficult to compare these games, honestly. It's like comparing something that's almost like a completely different genre of music to a song in another completely different genre of music.
And you have games as a service and things like that. I don't like Minecraft's not really like a game as a service, sort of. I wouldn't put it in that genre. But yeah, it's the only game that's still being updated. Like Minecraft genuinely is still getting updates. They even did a massive update recently where they've
There's
merged
another
them
craft
all.
game that has updates still.
I actually don't know what you're talking about, Mike. What are you talking about?
Warcraft.
Oh, Warcraft.
But
Warcraft's not getting updated. You're talking about World of
World
Warcraft.
of Warcraft.
Right? Yeah, that's not
of course that's
Warcraft.
what I'm talking about.
just
No,
to,
but that's been around for yonks.
just to give you some
Sure.
context, even on the Xbox One version, which is definitely not your like base version of Minecraft, they're on update like 16, title update 16.
Yeah.
From an achievement standpoint, like it's wild how
crazy.
much they've been adding to this game over time.
So it is a really hard one to compare because it's a game that's still alive. Like, you know, probably the game that's most comparable is what you said earlier, Skyrim. But Skyrim lives because of modding, really. Like, if it wasn't for modding, I don't think Skyrim would be played as much as it is. Like, even the whole modding thing with Skyrim is really cool. Like, I played around with that side of it a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is pretty sick. Like, what people are doing in this space. But then, yeah, Minecraft's a totally different level. And I feel like I still don't even fully understand Minecraft, to be perfectly frank. Because, you know, I play it, and I didn't even realize when I was playing through it that there's kind of an actual end to this game. As you referred to earlier, with what they introduced with version 1.0, which was the end and the Ender Dragon and all those kind of things. So, yeah, I think you're right, Swinny. I think this game is probably the easiest to argue as the number one game. And it's going to be really fascinating to
Will be,
see
though.
how we fight about it. And
you know what's going to be fascinating? I think I'm actually going to dig it up and play it more over the next few weeks and months as we play these other games as well. Because
Yeah.
it's the kind of game that you'll play in parallel to the other ones. And I do wonder if it's going... Because I obviously in the back of my mind have a clear winner for that year, but I'm wondering if something like Minecraft might actually...
we don't want to give anything away. Like
giving
Swinny
any
giving away
away,
Odyssey is the number
anything
one
away.
thing in the tier list within 2 minutes
But
of the tier list.
Minecraft might
Best
end up
decision
being
ever.
number one. We'll see. I think to the point you guys made about how it's hard to compare a game like this because it you know, unless you go play the original 2011 version and then look at it that way, but then you know you're playing that version now potentially after having played different versions of it since. It's really hard to make that comparison, and I think that's actually the same if you think about it with some of the other games on our list. Some less, some more so. Super Mario 3D Land is probably the only one that I can say you will play it exactly like you would have played it back then because
Well, maybe
you play the
not.
same version.
Maybe that's the only one that you're playing a worse version because Swinny didn't play it with 3D, and then you might not play it with 3D.
No, I will play it with 3D.
Oh, okay.
So, but I'm saying I can experience it whether it's 3D or 2D. It's still, you know, I've got the physical cartridge.
No, but that
I'll
game
get the
to
3DS.
me is actually different in 2D and 3D.
Okay, cool. So I'll play it in 3D, but I mean, I can still experience it like it was back then. But the reality is, if I play something like Dark Souls,
Well, Dark Souls remastered 60 frames per second.
it's a different game.
It's a massive
in a way.
difference. That's
It's
how
a
I'm
huge
experiencing the
difference,
game.
actually, yeah.
I'm playing that
So
game on PS5.
You're not playing
Fast
the
load
same
time,
game that we played.
everything.
Yeah,
I know.
you're not playing Blighttown at 5 frames a second.
You're
like we
able
had
to
to.
use
I know.
multiple souls in one go. You know,
You
not
can do
one by
little things
one.
like that. Yeah, it's a different kind of game. I think Skyrim again is a different game than what I played originally on 360.
Yep.
If I played it on PC, it's a different game.
Yeah, I'm
I've
playing
been playing
the
it on
remastered one on
Switch.
Switch. Yeah, same.
Deus Ex
Again,
is
it's
probably
a different
pretty
game.
close to what it was, though. I'd say that's
Deus
probably...
Ex is probably going to be the same. The only difference is I played it on 360, I think. So
I think
if I
Deus
played
Ex
on
when it
PC,
came out on PC was not so great, but now it's good. So that's what I understand.
I will probably play it on PC now. I mean,
find it
think
janky on
it's-
PC though.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like the
as in
controls.
controls wise,
Yeah.
but you can use a controller. So what's the?
I'm not
Well,
going to play a
let's
first
talk
person
about
shooter with
Deus
a
Ex when we
controller.
get to Deus Ex. I think it's pretty...
Yeah, we'll
True.
talk about it.
True.
But the,
so
the
just
point,
on that, we're going to
Yeah.
cover games on a fortnightly basis. I think, although next fortnight we are planning to play Donkey Kong Country Returns, the Wii game, or the 3DS version of it. But then we'll go back to the 2-week schedule. So and then round it out, and then we are doing a first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. We are going to rank all of them.
It's going to be glorious.
That's going to be brutal. I think we need to cut as much news out as possible.
yeah,
Because we'll do it in one run. It's going to be a minimum an
I'm
hour.
already like sharpening my.
I don't want to ruin it for
now.
everyone, and please don't comment on what I'm about to say. I feel like number 2 is where all the fighting will start. That's my gut feel. Number 2 is where it's going to get bloody quickly. Like,
We'll see.
And I'm not even really sure how we're going to do it. Like, maybe we'll need to just try to agree on what's 6 and then go from there and 5 or something like that. So
By pure old-fashioned verbal violence.
yeah, exactly. And we can swear as well, so it's going to be good. But yeah, Minecraft, man. Like, I actually was so close to buying it on Switch as well. I've got the PC version.
I've got the Switch version. It does. Last time I tried it, it just didn't feel it. It didn't run that well, and controls were just not.
Interesting.
Oh, look. I don't know. Maybe this was a while back, and maybe I had just played the PC one from memory.
I can't actually.
And then playing it on the Switch was really jarring.
I can't go back to Minecraft. I can't play it anymore. It's so different that I actually don't like what it's become.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Why? I love it.
Yeah.
Because
Why?
just reasons. You know, I think that like a lot of things, when you get into something at a certain point, that's what you feel comfortable with. And when they start overcomplicating it, like the
there's so much in the game.
tutorial world
my
of
God.
the current Minecraft is just there's so much in it, and there never even used to be, or there was a very small tutorial world in the original 360 version. And now I'm like, I don't care about any of this stuff. I just want to like make a castle, you know. But like for a lot of people that love Minecraft and play it all the time, that stuff just accumulates and they learn it. Whereas if you like me, if you haven't played it for 6 years and you try to come back to it, you're like, well, what is all this stuff? You know, so it's tough for me to go back to that game. Honestly.
Yeah, I felt like a total dumbass when I started playing it. I was like, because I don't like to read the in-game tutorials. I just hate doing that. I don't know why. Like, I've become so millennial with that shit. I just go on YouTube and watch videos on, just get me up to speed.
I'll just
hurry.
12-year-old teach me how to do
Pretty
this.
much. I didn't know how to make like a crafting table or anything, right? And I kept on destroying the crafting table. I didn't really understand how that worked either.
You've learned all your Minecraft knowledge from Steve in Smash Brothers.
Pretty much. But I was like, Jesus Christ, this game is like, I started reading about what I was meant to do or like what I can do. I'm just like, oh my God, there's like so many layers to this game. It's just insane. But I was just keeping it pretty simple, like survival mode.
Looking for cows and
just trying to build my house
stuff.
up, killing stuff, trying to build up my supplies, robbing people.
So basically living out your real life.
You might as well go
You know
play Postal.
Well, you know, just on that, I always play as thieves in video games, but yeah, I never steal. It's really odd. It's like stupid behavior. So I picked the thief character in Skyrim, and I've never stolen once.
Well, you need to play the Thief Guild storyline, then you'll certainly be stealing.
Yeah, then you'll steal a lot of shit.
Yeah, I have to. But I don't choose to thieve, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, in Minecraft, I thieve with impunity. I don't give a shit. If I go to someone's house, I'll take all your stuff. I'll kill you. I don't care. Like, I think it's because they look so cartoony.
Man, we should be putting Rust on this list if you like doing that stuff.
And I should say that, like, the graphics and the sound design and everything, to me, I love it so much. I love the colors, the palette. Like, to me, it's just perfection. And I'm a bit confused as well. Like, I feel very old in this segment. You know, there's all these texture packs that you can install and add to the PC version. Not sure if you have that on the console version as well.
I mean, there's texture packs, but not like the PC modding scene. But I mean, the actual official ray tracing version got released to
I played
the
that.
The full version in December.
Oh, what do you mean the full version?
As in, that's like before it was in beta. Now it's full release.
Yeah, I played that. I played that version. That looked crazy. That looked really cool. But there is something about the game. I actually went back because you can do this. You can go to something like Minecraft.net / something like classic, and you can play the original game. Like, I think it's the 0. whatever it is, 0.1, the one that came out in 2009. So I did that as well. And it is quite remarkable how similar the game is in how it's not as well.
You know what's wild? You just reminded me. I actually played it back in 2009 because everyone was talking about it.
Yes, I did as well.
And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I dug straight down and fell into lava, and then I just deleted it. And then I never thought, oh, this is going to be like the biggest game in the world, the biggest selling game of all time. It's wild. I just completely forgot that until now. That's wild.
Yeah, my journey with Minecraft is effectively 2009 and then playing it again in 2021. It's like insane. And yeah, the game's still getting updated. It's still like getting a lot of attention, and I'm very close to buying it on the Switch, just because I just love having stuff on the Switch, man.
It's super handy. I'm actually downloading it now, so I'll give it a quick spin tonight before bed. I'll let you know how it runs, how it goes. I still think that the PC version is probably the version to play if you can, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
But at the same time, it's the kind of game it's really cool for it to be portable, because you can just sit there in bed and just, play a little bit more, do this, do that.
Yeah, it's such an awesome game. It's like one of the few games I'm really looking forward to playing with my son when he gets a bit older. Because like
put a server up, that'd be so sick.
Yeah, you know what? So, but like as like the podcast grows, I'd love to start that kind of community stuff. I love that kind of stuff.
A little Bigwig,
little
Minecraft
Bigwiggers.
servers. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, we all love this game. I think it's very easy to advocate for this to be Game of the Year, and I think almost no one said it was Game of the Year when it came out in 2011. So it just goes to show that you need to do this 10 years after the actual year it was based in. All right, well, we've gone pretty long. Let's wrap the show up.